counting. I mean,
if I'm being honest, body count really does not matter. Because in my opinion, body count is like a job. Let's say you have 4 or 5 previous references, right? And your boss speaks highly of you. You're gonna get the job. That's okay, because now you have high expectations and hopefully you meet them. But let's say you have like over 100, then questions start arising. Like, you couldn't keep a job for a long period of time? Did you struggle to stay committed to the job? Or did you get fired for doing a bad job at your job? But at the same time, let's say you're applying to a job and you have 0 experience, and the job you want to get requires some experience, you're probably gonna get overlooked. So that's my opinion on body count.
Who's going to tell her? Anybody? Any volunteers? Isn't it funny how these females don't seem to understand that when they make an argument, that the examples that they use to bolster their argument, those examples need to actually bolster their argument? Bruh. I just don't understand how an individual can make the statement that she made about body count not mattering, but then use examples where the actual count itself was a determining factor of the changes in how a person thought about them. Isn't that the epitome of mattering? She talked about 4 or 5 references, and if the boss speaks highly of you, you're probably going to get the job. Well, in this example, 4 or 5 references is probably speaking about the individuals with whom she slept, i.e. the body count, right? Y'all tell me. Because what it seems like is that she's saying body count doesn't matter, but then her example says that the body count does. So if the number goes up, doesn't that mean that it's worse? Doesn't that mean you get treated differently? Well, wouldn't that mean that if the body count was lower, the references went from 4 or 5 to 1 or 2, that you would get treated better? Again, this is just by the logic she's using, or rather the lack thereof. I don't understand how these females don't see this. And yes, I do, of course. We here at TYGMRight. Come on, good man fam. You know we do. The reason that she thinks this way is because she didn't think of this. These are not her words. These are somebody else's words. See, one thing about females is that they kind of have a hive mind. Females have this thing called the sisterhood, of which we all know. Now, guys have the brotherhood, but it's not the same. And what is one of the biggest problems with the sisterhood? Think about it. It's that they all just agree with each other like a hive mind whenever they're around each other. Now, traditional and modern women separate themselves from the insanity of modern females most of the time, but sometimes there's some crossover, like I heard Fantasia saying some modern female talking points, but she seems more like a modern woman. But what happens is when females hear these talking points, the talking points themselves make females feel a certain way. And if the feeling is good, then they'll go out and they'll spew that talking point sometimes without even literally thinking about what the talking point itself says. And then when they get into the midst of the conversation, what happens is they realize, oh no, I really didn't think this through. This is when they normally start attacking the person who's breaking down their argument, because they didn't go all the way down from level 1 to 10 of the argument for all 10 levels. They went level 1 to 3. And then when you hit them with, but what about 4, 5, and 6? They literally do not have an answer. So because they don't have an answer, guess what they do? They turn to shaming you. They turn to insulting you. They turn to guilting you. And no matter what happens, at the end, they'll say some bull crap like, well, that's your opinion and I have my opinion. Well, that's how you feel, and that's how I feel. That's the whole need to be right thing. What do I always say? Go ahead, say it with me. They can never be the culprit. They always have to be the victim. They can never be the cause. They always have to be the individual upon whom the effect of the cause was thrown. They can never be the villain. They always have to be the hero. And here's another question. Why is it that females think that when you have experience as a female in this regard, remember, we're speaking about body count, that that's somehow a flex? It doesn't make any sense. How is it that you say, okay, body count doesn't matter, but then you use the example of experience as though body count shouldn't matter because if you have experience, that's a good thing? Who told them that? Who told them that having a lot of experience means that's a good thing body count wise? The funny thing is, her own example says the experience is terrible. Because what did she say? Well, if you go up to like 100 or something, yeah, that's more experience. And based on your quote unquote logic, wouldn't that be a good thing? Nah, somehow in her world, it's both a bad thing and a good thing. Hey, as they say, you can't make this up. So you all tell me, because she's cute. However, is she a traditional woman, modern woman, or modern female? Because she's not the cutest, but you best believe that if she wanted to rack up 50 bodies, she can do that real quick. You all tell me in the comment section which one you think she is, because one thing that I do know about this female is she definitely got her talking points from the sisterhood.